I cannot dance at all. I'm bad at a lot of things, but dancing is one of the things that I'm definitely worst at. I can't sing, and, well, no one has ever searched for nude photos of me online, not even at my physical peak in the late 90s and early 2000s. I am, in short, pretty much the exact opposite of Britney Spears. I can pee standing up though, so suck on that, Spears. Not literally, drinking urine is probably quite bad for you. Britney Spears always seemed destined for fame. She decided not to mess around with that having a childhood malarkey and applied to be a member of Disney's TV show The Mickey Mouse Club at the age of 8. But she was told she was far too young for that sort of thing and to come back a little bit later. And so off she went to be an understudy for an off-Broadway show called Ruthless for a couple of years. And so she went back to the Disney Mickey Mouse Club and ended up being in the same cast as luminaries such as Ryan Gosling, Christina Aguilera and future boyfriend Justin Timberlake. By future boyfriend, I don't mean he was a robot, I mean she went out with him in the future. She was courted to be the lead singer of a girl band called Innocence by the NSYNC manager Lou Pearlman, but she left before the band got off the ground as she secured a solo deal. Innocence ended up supporting Britney in one of her early tours. Britney became an overnight sensation thanks to the video for Baby One More Time, which was the idea of Spears herself, in other words, to dress up as a schoolgirl. She clearly understood even at that young age that men are terrible perverts, and perhaps more pertinent for her record sales, that schoolgirls wanted a star to relate to. And thus a megastar was born, and you can tell how popular she was just by this enormous spike in the usage of her name given to babies at the start of her fame in the early 2000s. She was huge for a sustained amount of time too, and probably the biggest female superstar for the millennials in the way that Madonna was for Generation X and Taylor Swift has been for Generation Z. There's no doubt that she has a strong body of work behind her. She's produced some very insidiously catchy solid singles and put on incredible arena shows worldwide. She is truly the first superstar of the 21st century. It came unfortunately at a cost. Spears has struggled consistently over the last few decades with her mental health. Her personal life and the unwanted 13-year conservatorship by her father Jamie have caused her immense emotional distress. The tabloid press, of course, and its unerring glare has made all her problems much worse. She is a fragile character. Still, her memoir, The Woman in Me, was an instant bestseller, shifting 1.1 million copies in the first week in just the US alone. It's done that well that it's already been turned into a major Hollywood production. So hopefully the next memoir is a far happier one for our Britters. It is weird that she says baby like this though. Bye bye. I've always thought that anyway. Britney's Dance Beat was a rhythm game released through THQ on 3 formats through the summer of 2002. I'm covering the Gameboy Advance title here as I'm known to do that, but the PlayStation 2 and PC games are pretty similar, albeit with more in the way of video content, a few more game options and better graphics. The GBA version was coded by Artco Limited, who we've experienced before on this here channel, thanks to their efforts on the 2 Nintendo DS Shaun the Sheep games. Hello chaps, good to see you. The plotline, not actually sure you can call it that, but more on that in a bit, has you as an aspiring dancer who is auditioning for a spot as a backup bopper for Miss Spears' arena tour. You must move your body to the delights of 5 of Britney's biggest songs to that release date of 2002. Baby One More Time, Oops, I Did It Again, Stronger, Overprotected, and I'm a Slave for You. This being the Game Boy Advance and being on a cartridge, you won't be hearing the actual full versions of the songs that were released, but simplified MIDI-esque instrumentals with the occasional vocal honk from good old Britters herself. You'll be interacting with the songs via buttons pressed in a similar manner to other rhythm action titles such as Dance Dance Revolution or Parappa the Rapper. In Britney's Dance Beat, you have to time your button presses with the arm spinning on this here dial, hitting A, B or a direction button on the exact moment in time with the music and the command thereof. On easier difficulties, this will be less buttons to press. You'll just press A on the earlier songs. But on later stages, such as the concert, you will have to press multiple buttons much quicker as the wheel will turn faster. It gets very hectic, and in order to progress to the next song, you will need to hit minimum level of success threshold on each of these songs. Britney is a perfectionist and she don't want no dog like you screwing up her arena tour, Mr. or Mrs. As well as unlocking the next round, you'll also unlock the stylised versions of Britney's promotional photos from the era. And sliding puzzles. Yay! Who doesn't like a sliding puzzles, except for everyone? Finish the game and you get a 1-minute FMV of Britney performing at one of her concerts. Yes, I know it looks like it's been compressed to buggery, but that's because it has been. It may not look that impressive now, but I bet that this took up a big old chunk of the cartridge space. It's actually quite impressive for the time, believe you me. Which probably explains why the game itself is so light in content. It is very short. You'll perform these 5 songs in the audition section, and then the same 5 songs again in the concert section, albeit a little bit faster. And that's it. There's nothing more to the game. There's no story sections between each song either, so you won't be dealing with either Britney or a jealous dancer Ho who's desperate to take your place. It's just you selecting the next song from a menu. It's a bit drab, isn't it? There is a 2-player mode if you do fancy being a competitive prancer, however. Graphically, it's fine. You have a digitally rendered Britney on screen rather than your own dancer, who will flail about according to your presses, stumbling when you balls up. But you'll be staring very intently, not at Britney, but at this dial. It's very difficult to look away from this dial because it will demand your full attention. You can watch your performance back via a full end of dance replay if you so wish. Other than Britney on these static backgrounds, there's nothing else. The camera is fixed so it doesn't sort of show different angles of Britney in a dance studio or the arena or anything. And there's nothing happening in the background. No one watching, and there's no backing dancers, which is a bit of a shame considering the rather grandiose nature of Britney's arena shows. The game ultimately isn't that much fun. It is either boringly simple or teeth-grindingly hectic, but it's never interesting. It doesn't have a dance mat or guitar peripheral or any of those sort of gimmicks to make it stand out like some of its competitors, and it doesn't have that engaging character that Elite Beat Agents or Guitar Hero Man had that made them stand out from the crowd. In a way, it's sort of on point because, much like 2000 era pop music, it feels a little more than a safe homogenised product. Nothing more, nothing less. Sorry Britney, bye, your game's no good, mate. IGN reviewed Britney's Dance Beat in April 2002. They gave it a 5 out of 10 and said pressing A and B at the right time during a song might be challenging, but it's not a whole lot of fun. GameSpot gave it a 6.4 out of 10. They commented that it's a decent music-inspired video game, but it's definitely less about music and rhythm than it is a platform to promote Britney Spears herself. And that is the review done. And you know what? I'm quite proud of myself because I managed to get through this whole Britney game without some sort of crude innuendo involving the words handheld and beat and obviously Britney. See, I'm maturing and not just putting in cheap objectification of the female form for the hell of it. But in a way, I kind of am. So, oops, I did it again. There, that was worth that joke, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe and thanks, bye.